totally and brutally honest here. Sean Corbin makes Valery Brudov look like Ivan Drago. It's as simple as that. He's beat what's in front of him tonight. He faces me. He's going to visit mental demons again. And let's get something straight. Come to me, mate. You come to me. Next time, ain't no judge is going to be needed. I'm going to do worse than Kovalev. I am going to do worse than Kovalev.
On Saturday night, mate, you better hold it together. I'm going to smash it near you to pieces, mate. I'm going to hit him. When he gets in the ring and we get 10-ounce gloves on, I'm going to smash his head to bits. I'm going to do it November the 30th against all odds. No matter what people say, the journalists write what you want. All as I'll say is tune back in and then look at me on December the 1st when I am world champion. It's as simple as that. I'm willing to die in that ring. It's as simple as that. I am willing to die. I'm willing to die, Saturday. Is he? You fucking rat!
There we go. Let's move on then, shall we, to Bellew of the Weeks before we finish up for the evening. Thank you to everyone for sticking with us. All things considered, coronavirus, it doesn't hate. Coronavirus does not discriminate. First nomination for Dominic Ingle for bringing out a coronavirus song. Has anybody actually heard this? It's some fun, isn't it?
It's great times, mate. I mean, you know, with the Asian flu back in the 50s, we've got the coronavirus, aka Chinese virus, 2020s. Yeah, it's elite times. You know, mad cow disease back in the 80s. Thanks to Britain.
I think I'd rather get the fucking coronavirus than listen to that song.
Yeah. I tell you what, actually, just geese the fucking thing so we can get back to work, get back to normal and stuff. Because, just say, you know, I'm gonna need a liver transplant by the end of this fucking lockdown. Like, there's just there's no denying it. You know, if you see my recycling box, empty bottles and that, by the way, you've seen yourself. Yeah, there's a problem in that house, like, and they're not picking up the box anymore until this thing gets sorted out. So, you know, think about the walk of shame I got to take that box outside to the curb for collection, man. And I'm placing bottles around about this fucking box.
You need to get all the cans. I'm fucking done with them. Let's get all the cans. You just
I can't get on the cans, mate, because my fucking blue bucket's full with the gunnels with cans as well. Space. Honestly, I'll take a picture of what you see it.
Go on, Andy.
No, I'll take a picture of my blue bucket and I'll let Rob see it, actually. I'm not kidding you.
Stick up the blue bucket in the chat. Talking of cruiserweights, actually, lads, what about this nomination for Sky Sports Boxing? They did a poll during the week. Who is the greatest cruiserweight of all time? On this week's podcast, Matthew Macklin and Sky's Johnny Nelson picked Holyfield at 1, Usyk at 2, and Johnny Nelson as number 3. Do you all agree? This has to be some serious trolling.
Oh my God! Well, we need. What was the 3 names again, mate? So Nelson. Who's the other 2?
Holyfield was first.
Right.
Usyk was second. You could interchange them depending on the argument. Number 3, Sky's Johnny Nelson.
Sky's Johnny Nelson. I mean, there's no you know, duplicity or any fucking favouritism going on there because it's one of his company men and stuff like that. But you need to remember, you know, we don't want to be kind of banging on Johnny and stuff like that. But you know, Dennis Andries at cruiserweight, okay.
Juan Carlos Gomez.
Yeah, I know, but fuck, come on. I mean, he was hardly like. I mean, okay, he turned the corner and started beating guys and stuff, but you know, the Carol Thompson fight, the stoppage was bullshit if I recall rightly.
Yeah.
As for the first 2, I mean, I could listen to both guys' arguments saying like Holyfield went through those guys quicker. Sorry, he went through those guys, unified the belts and stuff, and then went on to have a fantastic career at heavyweight and that. But you can also see like you know, Carlos De Leon, who I think Nelson fought as well. He shit the bed against him, I think, if I recall rightly. He had the fights with Cal Wee. I mean, his reign at cruiserweight Holyfield as well isn't exactly strong with the opponents. Henry Tillman, I think, was there. Ozzy Ocasio was there. When you look at Usyk, he did it quick. He beat the main guys over 3 fights. Well, 2 of the main guys over 3 fights, shall we say. You wouldn't put Huck in the top 3, top 4 of the division. But Nelson, fucking, as Frank would say, do me a favour, man. Come on.
But Andy, you're forgetting about the reign of terror towards the end. Vincenzo Cantatore, Rudiger May. This is off the top of my head here. Alexander Petrovic. It was Premier stuff.
Premier stuff, mate. He did a lot of title defences. I think him and Marco Huck have got something 18, 19 WBO belt defences. But I'm sorry, David Hay and Thomas Adamek to another length actually were far better cruiserweights, in my opinion. Jean-Marc Mormec were far more exciting fighters than Johnny Nelson. Johnny Nelson, man, the entertainer. I mean, talk about trolling at the fucking best of levels. But, you know, I mean, Ezra Sellers had that great fight with Carl Thompson. Guillermo Jones.
O'Neal Bell, he was a great fighter.
He was. Had the 2 fights with Jean-Marc Mormec. First fight was a belter as well, actually. But you know, these
second
names...
fight was ruined, Andy. I maintain the second fight was ruined. Do you remember it was an absolute barnstormer, and the WBC did that open scoring after 8 rounds, and Mormec realised that he was ahead, so he completely took his foot off the gas for the last 4 rounds, and it just ruined the fight.
I remember the first fight was the one with the stoppage in the 8th.
Bell stopped him. That was a brilliant fight.
That was the one I remember more. I need to go and check the rematch actually, to be honest with you. Another name actually, Sebastian Rothman. Sebastian Rothman, he ended up fighting Carl Thompson as well, didn't he?
Thompson knocked him out, yeah.
Yeah, it was another great fight that Carl Thompson... How did he get the cat back on here, by the way? I think
Thompson had the shit beat out of him, didn't he, for half the rounds, and then he came back and KO'd him. That was classic comeback knockout, yeah.
And Ezra Sellers fight and the Sebastian Rothman fights were just absolute savage.
Yep, some good fights. Moving on, talking of great cruiserweights, Tony Bellew has been nominated for Bellew of the Week here. If you are one of them people in the parks just sitting off and socialising, you are a selfish prick. I've got 4 kids and they'd love nothing more than to go to the park, but as I've explained to them, we have to think about others, do the right thing, hashtag stay home, save lives, Tony Bellew.
See, to be honest, actually, I felt for Tony actually on that IFL interview, because that is every fucking parent up and down the closes and the streets and the fucking fields of fucking Britain and Ireland, by the way. Every fucking parent sat there with I've got a 7-year-old and a 10-month-old, right? Tony I think's got 3 boys, I think, or something like that. And they're roughly around about like 7, 8, 9, 10. Can you imagine having to be stuck in the house with 3 fucking kids badgering you for fucking hours on end, man? All you want is like a 10-minute sleep, you know, but a peace and quiet, and you just kind of get it. And you can just see him rubbing his face and that, you know. He, at that moment, you're like, "Where's my handgun?" You know, because honestly, guys, there's been moments in that the last couple of days where I've had to fucking reassess some situations. Like, I'm like, fucking come on. Oh, Jesus Christ.
No rest for the wicked on Sunday evening. Anthony Fowler, Tony himself, has been nominated from Ted Barrett. Working on my dreams every day, enjoying my boxing, ticking over, says Tony. Also, I've got keys to my own private gym too before the fun police starts. Hashtag Team Machine. And Ted pointed to the fact that you could hear punch bags being hit in the background. So you ain't alone there, are you, Tone? You ain't alone. George Nada has nominated Carl Froch, calling Calzaghe out. Have you seen the size of his head? I don't know why it's swollen up so badly. He looks like he's got high blood pressure. He looks a bit of a mess, so if he has agreed to fight, then I'd definitely fancy a bit of that. The boys are chatting here about... What is it now? Oh yeah, Rob. You've been called out here apparently. Jamie was calling on Rapid Rob Kelly to drop a few verses to the Dominic Ingle coronavirus beat. So you could be drafted in there as a special duo with Dom. What do you think, Rob? You ready to get on it? Rob's not biting. He's singing out in the fields. Let's move on. Michael McAway, Andy, has nominated Paul Jarrett.
Yes.
Paul Jarrett said best wishes for your dad's recovery. Talking to Eddie Hearn. Terry Marsh couldn't get the job done, and neither will this cardiac incident. Unless I'm missing something, says Michael. You sure? Once you've tried to shoot one British promoter, you've tried to shoot them all.
Oh, I can see with that bullet ended up in Frank Warren's head and deflected, left that big dent in his forehead. You know that he's got. But it was a classic case of mistake in identity there. Like, so yeah, definitely worthy of Bellew of the Week nomination, that one.
Yes, a classic case of a mistaken identity on every level. Dominic Henry has nominated Regis Prograis, urging Eddie Hearn to follow Dana White and use a private island to host fights now. Prograis was due to fight Maurice Hooker on April the 17th. Hot Stig has nominated Adrian Broner, Andy. Adrian Broner is ready to focus 120% on boxing. 120% of Broner. This could be it, Andy.
Yeah, in the same sentence he says it's over. Not only that, just think if I go to my regular weight of £135, Fucking shut up, soft ass shit up, man. £135. Your regular weight, you said as well. £135. You go about almost 2 bills, you fat bastard. You ain't making 135 again. As I says, I will pay your kid's tuition if you make 135 again, right? So fucking somebody sent that one to him, by the way. See if he does it or no. Fucking £135. Fuck me. Just
Early front runner.
fucking hell.
Maybe. Danny Robson has nominated Jorge JJ. Hasim Rahman Jr. put up a Twitter question. Roy Jones Jr. versus Saul Canelo Alvarez. Who you got and why? Jorge jumped in and said Canelo. Defence would be a nightmare for Roy Jones. He would dog walk Jones, landing body shots and slowing Roy Jones down. Roy Jones' chin is Amir Khan level, so he probably gets stopped late rounds. Prime Canelo against Prime Roy Jones Jr. at 168. Nah. Or 175 even. Jorge can't get on board with that one. This is a good one here. And a solid work coming in. Just brace yourself. Super Dicky 193 has nominated this from Tony, the man himself, Tony Bellew. Red Issue brought this to our attention. Tony Bellew tweeting out thoughts with Kenny Dalglish and his family and friends right now. I've spent a little bit of time around Kenny in the last few years, and he's a proper gentleman who's full of banter. Thoughts and prayers for him. Get well soon, Kenny, mate. And a little blue heart. Next to a picture of Tone with his WBC title in front of a flag that says Kenny Dalglish is a homosexual.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, Two-Face get you, Tony. Yeah, Two-Face get you.
Leave me alone, Rob. Leave me alone. The SS just found them.
We could have been under. No, I'm looking at the SS only after dropping him back. Listen, he could have been under duress from the missus.
What a legend.
Right,
he's the gift that keeps on giving, isn't he?
Oh man, he's unbelievable, isn't he? What a two-faced game. Imagine that fucking standing by his side saying a man is a homosexual. Nothing wrong with that, by the way, if you are. And then go fucking call. Oh, what a dickhead, like. Unbelievable, Tony Bellew. You have to love him, really. Like, he's fucking unbelievable value week in, week out. Like.
Oh man, another 2 weeks of this lockdown shit, man. He could be going. Could be going other levels, man. He might need to retire the award actually if he fucking keeps going the way he's going.
I'm waiting for him to fucking join the 5G revolution. That's what I really want to hear. His thoughts on the 5G. Because we've had Amir give his fucking opinion. I really want to see where Tony Bellew stands on all this. For fuck's sake.
Let's get Tony on. Bellew of the Week, that's what it's called it. Gavin Stevens has nominated Leonard Ellaby. Tosha will at the end, don't worry. Leonard Ellaby for saying Gervonta Davis is the biggest attraction at 130 and 135, and that's an irrefutable fact. He might not be too far off the mark there. Moving on, Cholo, that's you, Andy. Eddie Hearn slams move by stubborn Dana White to stage island fights. Eddie's raging, rightly so as well. Why didn't you think of this first?
Exactly, mate. You know, if there's a chance to make money, you can guarantee that Eddie Hearn will be in there because, as Eddie said himself in that great interview that he gave, was it 2 or 3 weeks ago? In times of crisis, there's opportunity, and only the strongest shall survive. Evening, Eddie.
Wait till you see the numbers. Wait till you see the fucking numbers, evening, Ed. Wait till you see the numbers for that island fight. He'll be all over the fucking Tropicana Island breeze.
Over on Epstein's Island.
Oh, can you imagine dressing up like George Michael, by the way? Oh, fuck me. Think about it.
Down the Sugar Hut. Sugar Hut on tour. Evening, Ed.
Edward, how you doing, mate?
Here's one coming here, Ozzy. This could be right up your street, actually. Jake at War Tugboat has made me aware of this. Lucas Big Daddy Brown, friend of the pod, former T-shirt wearer, is saying, "What about these fantasy fights, Ozzy? Forget about our fantasy heavyweight fights." Lucas wants to know Prime versus Prime. Who you got? Okay, Ozzy, you ready? Lucas Brown, obviously. Alex Lepi, Solomon Hormono, and Cali Meehan. Could you imagine that? Prime versus Prime. What a time to be alive.
Or Mono, is that not Kelly Maloney?
Sorry, I was just brushing my teeth. Who are we on there? Leopold, Big Daddy Brown,
Cali Meehan and Solomon Hormono. Prime versus Prime. Lucas wants to know who you got.
That is on my that is on what's it called? If I click on Mixler now, there's a picture of those guys there. Is there
Absolutely, I'm trying to spread the word. For him.
Right. I've got to go with the main man, Big Daddy Brown. That performance he put on in Russia was a boxing exhibition on the back foot, didn't win a round, but then bulldozed forward and absolutely destroyed Shagayev. Fucking great shot that. I remember that, watching that on Box Nation.
A good fight, that. I like that fight.
It was a good fight, yeah. It was a good fight. Fucking hell, what a random tournament. I'd probably go with Leopai being deadly serious.
I would as well, yeah.
Yeah, being deadly serious.
Because he had good form, didn't he? Because Denis Boytsov was lined up to fight Klitschko, and Leopai dropped him and completely busted his career and took that shot. I'd say he had the biggest win.
He got stopped off the kingpin, didn't he, Leopai?
Was Boytsov no got a hard end? Did he fall down a set of stairs at a subway station and end up in a coma or something like that?
Is that right? He had dodgy backing, didn't he, Boytsov? Didn't the Russian gangsters or something put money into his career?
I can't mind. There was him and Gregor Drodz, the cruiserweight as well. He was another one who had forced retire. I forget if it's one or the other who had the brain damage. I think it was Boytsov.
Maybe he got through down the stairs.
No, he'd been out in the piss or something like that, and he'd slipped. It was like winter time, and heading down, he fucking slipped and banged his head and that, and ended up in a coma. I'm pretty sure it was him.
He was a massive puncher coming up on Eurosport, I remember that, and he was lined up WBO number one for a shot at Klitschko. Yeah, that was the other thing as well. Well, just Boytsov, but if you go to Gregor Drodz, I'm sure he was WBC champion at the time when Bellew... He was, yeah. He got injured, didn't he?
Yeah, that's right, and then because they vacated the belt, and that's why Bellew ended up fighting Maccabi for the vacant title.
That's correct.
That's right,
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
That's right.
Go ahead, Ozzy, sorry, have you got something to add in?
No, nothing.
Nothing on the career of Grigor Drodz just yet, but you never know. By the end of the night, we might have something. Al Ayman, friend of the pod, take Ames in the chat tonight. I have to get Ames on in the future, good guy that he is. Has nominated Elias Farias over on YouTube. Lockdown is really getting to some people. He's trying to come up with reasons why the greatest hitter, the greatest boxer, Deontay Wilder, was cheated and cannot be beaten legitimately. Another one here, Mirror Fighting. Eddie will be telling us to pay £25 next for Carl Froch versus Calzaghe. Bellew of the week, says Tom Myers, who brought that to my attention. What else have we got? Let's have a look through. One from a few weeks ago, I think I might have missed at the time. Dominic Henry has put in a Bellew of the week for Billy Joe Saunders, apologising for his antics by claiming he's a God-fearing man, and he's not buying that one.
Fuck him, hell.
CBD Addict has nominated Next Level Boxing Talk. It's time for hardcore boxing fans to accept today's reality and embrace it, says this gentleman. Boxing now is pretty much a team sport, and fans are openly rooting for their team. PBC, Top Rank, etc. Nothing wrong with that. You as a promoter, Raging Blade, should find ways to use it to your advantage.
Of course there's something wrong with that. Fucking support the fights or a fighter. There's no fucking promoters and fucking TV shows. At the end of the fucking day, these are the part of the problems why we're not getting these big fights. ESPN and rivalries between Warren and Hearn, for example. That's fucking no use. Make the fights. That's all we want to see. And then we can be fan of the fighters. That's all it is. Fuck the promoters. Fuck all these personalities, all your rappers and all that sort of shit. It's the fighters that matter. So get the fucking fights made.
Yeah, fuck these rappers.
You know what I mean, though, Rob? They're all wanting their minute of fame. They're coming out. I mean, some of these bitches come out here, man, like Lil Wayne. That's not a working one. He's fucking rapping, man.
Big time. I remember when I was in Limerick at one of the Andy Lee fights, and I was there in the hotel during the daytime. But I'd been around him for the whole afternoon, so it was time to go to the fight, and I had a limo, and he was like, "Do you want to get in?" And I was like, "Oh, I'll drive over," because I didn't want to be fucking seen as, I had been there all afternoon. He was getting ready for the fight. There was no need for me to be in the fucking dressing room. I had been there once. He invited me in, so I didn't want to be just like expecting to go all the time and all that shit. So I'd be the opposite, but you'd be surprised what you'd see when you're in and around there, like the way people behave around fighters and stuff, and especially in America, in the black community, you're going to have fighters gravitating towards rappers, and everybody wants to be gangsters and all until you lose, and then nobody wants to call you anymore, you know what I mean? So I remember Bleak telling me before, when he was selling gold and platinum, that he had 100 best friends, and then when he wasn't selling records anymore, he had about 3 best friends, so that's the way it goes in sports and entertainment. So yeah, you can see that coming for a lot of fighters at the moment, especially the way they hype it up on social media. I mean, Jamel Charlo, Ron Bellew of the week, gave one of his typical impassioned Charlo speeches from his house, you know what I'm saying? He talked about what he's going to do to the division, you know what I'm saying? And the thing about me is I'm a different type of, you know, this usual fucking nonsense. Like, so they're all caught up in social media and appearance and hype and all that. But like we said earlier, it's a very short time at the top. Like, you got to make the best of it, make as much money as you can, and all that hangers on and all that shit doesn't matter when you're fucking sitting in a rocket chair. Like, you know what I mean? So.
Charles
Well said, wise words. Wise words there from Rapping Rob Kelly on a Sunday evening. Okay, before we go round, Tosh was asking me to read the Tony Bellew one out again. Why not? It's worth reading out, isn't it? So Tony tweeted out, thoughts with Kenny Dalglish and his family and friends right now. I've spent a little bit of time around Kenny the last few years, and he's a proper gentleman who's full of banter. Thoughts and prayers for him. Get well soon, Kenny, mate. And then there was a picture of Tony with his WBC title in front of a big flag saying, Kenny Dalglish is a homosexual. So that was it, Tosh. Bit of hypocrisy from the man himself, old Tony Bellew. I know who's getting my vote. Excuse me, boys. Any nominations, Andy? First of all, from you.
Yeah, well, Broner again, just because it's baby bro. Maidana, actually, I don't know if anybody's seen this, but he sent out a fucking message during the week there about a personal prized possession that he's got, and that, and it's apparently he wears this apparently around about his neck. It's fucking for the first fight between him and Floyd Mayweather, when the third round when he landed that right hand that fucking put Floyd up against the ropes. So if you look at it, you actually see something come out of Floyd's mouth, and it's always been thought it was Floyd's tooth. So apparently Maidana's team picked it up, and he's actually got it all, he's got it embossed into a gold chain. He's posted. He's posted a picture of it and that as well, saying it's his prized possession. So yeah, I mean it's just typical Maidana, you know. And the other one is, I love this one. Absolutely love this one. Chris Mannix and Sergio Mora. Right, I swear, see if Sergio Mora hadn't boxed, man, I swear he would be a casual. Because when he gives his opinion, that's all it is, a fucking casual. Chris Mannix, I expect better for him as well, but they actually, obviously kind of fishing for content and stuff, but they actually said, or asked the question, if Vladimir Klitschko should return to chase a legacy. Wait a fucking minute here. Vladimir Klitschko's got a legacy, right? So what the fuck's he going to come back at, 45 to chase one for? Fuck me, like, he's one of the most dominant long-reigning champions in the last fucking 50 years. Fuck's
12
sake.
years combined.
12 years combined. He was like, I think he's third in the all-time standings for defences. I mean, fucking hell, man. How's that not a legacy, you pricks? You just get paid to talk about this shit.
The rematch with Tyson Fury we all wanted to see 8 years later. Didn't he get caught on camera before though saying, I don't know who the fuck these guys are commenting, I just come and make it up on the spot? Didn't he say something like that? Wasn't he caught on here commenting for PBC, and he
that's right, yeah,
he blew up his own spot? That was him, wasn't it? He was like, I don't watch these fools. Fucking, what are you on about? These guys on
that's
the
right, they left some icon, didn't they, in between rounds or something? Yeah.
So that'll tell you.
There we are.
That's
all the nominations for you?
Yeah, that's my ones, mate, yep.
Rob, any from you? Any nominations?
Not really. I think the Maidana one was brilliant, like absolutely brilliant. When I saw that, he's a fucking legend, isn't he? Maidana probably didn't fulfill his potential. Maybe if we'd gone to Robert Garcia earlier, he was always kind of a bit flabby around the midsection and all before that, wasn't he? He was the gas and stuff, but we probably didn't see him as good as he could have been, but gave us unbelievable night with Broner and two great fights with Floyd. Like, he even did well in the second fight, even though it wasn't as close. But El Cino, man, with a fucking Floyd Mayweather's dude sitting in Argentina, fat as a pig, shooting wild boars in his background. Well, Mayweather's selling Mayweather's daughter, by the way, we didn't cover that one. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah.
Mayweather's daughter is facing 99 years in prison, and she's got some high-profile lawyer, Jay Prince's lawyer, because she stabbed someone's baby's mother. And then Mayweather went on a PBR assault and started posting Instagram pictures of him training his son, showing what a good father he is. And now he just wants to train fighters like his uncle Roger Mayweather. It's nothing to do with drawing attention away from his daughter, who's facing 99 years for giving someone the old fucking, what you call it? I don't know if she gave her Chelsea smile or not. I don't know. I'm not sure the full details of the case, but that's got to be highlighted. Whoever said that Johnny Nelson was the greatest cruiserweight, that was fucking poison as well. Oh my god! Like, and What else was there? What was the big one that was standing out there? It was the front runner.
Tony. Big Tone.
Tony, yeah. How could he write that? They had straight face on him and all, I bet you, when he was writing that and everything. Two-faced gate. But maybe he's grown up and he's mature and he's showing. You have to give him the benefit of the doubt, like Omar. I have fellow Omar. You have to fucking just leave him alone. You don't get on with it.
Any nominations from you, Ozzy, at all?
You may well have mentioned it. Did we mention that Taylor Cobra guy for his row at Michael Conlon?
I think we mentioned that last week.
Yeah, last week, aye.
Oh, was that last week?
Yeah, mentioned that last week.
It went just before we went on live last week, I think.
Some sort of mistaken identity or something. I can't mean.
Fucking hell, that shows what lockdown's doing. My days are all over. I thought that was early this week. No other nominations.
Okay, Ozzy, while you're unmuted, do you want to say who you're going for this week?
Yeah, Dominic Ingle, without a doubt. The guy has released 2 songs. He's not even a musician. One song is about Eddie Hearn, a fucking promoter, and the other one is about a virus that has killed hundreds of thousands of people and is wiping out,
which is worse.
Yeah, which is worse. So he decided to write a song about it. So yeah, I don't think he's all there, mate. Like, what would go through your mind and think, yeah, I'm going to write a song about the coronavirus and then release it to raise money? It's just bizarre. Like, do a fucking sponsored fitness challenge or something. Don't pen a song about a fucking virus killing people.
Hope he wasn't sitting next to the drummer and the bass player and all that, more than 2 meters.
Yeah. Ingle is breaking the social distancing quite a lot, actually. So yeah, Ingle is one for me without a doubt.
If you're looking for a jingle, you know what to call Ingle.
Ingle jingle,
Ingle baby.
The Ingle jingle, good one. Yeah, Ozzy's made a strong case, Rob. I'm wavering, but I'm gonna have to go for Tony. Who are you going for?
Very, very tough to go against Anthony Bellew this week. Well, maybe, give him the benefit of the doubt. He's showing maturity. He doesn't think anything derogatory about Kelly Dalglish anymore. That was just a bit of football banter, and he hopes he doesn't die from the coronavirus. So maybe he's not all bad, Tony Bellew, and he's definitely keeping us going in these.
He's fucking asymptomatic as well, too. So he's no symptoms apparently, King Kenny, hasn't he?
Has he not? No.
He's no symptoms apparently. He's asymptomatic or something. So I read anyway.
Fuck. I don't know, man. I don't know what the crack with it is. Wish it was fucking over though. I know that. I'm definitely going to be. I'm definitely going to be in the doghouse for an Easter Sunday upon a prison, and there's no escape. Where do I go?
Jail, mate. That's probably the best place to go.
I take it.
2 for Tone, 1 for Dominic. Go on, Andy. You could be the decider here. There's 2 for Tony Bellew, 1 for Dominic.
Tony, without doubt.
Tony,
without doubt, and he capped it off as well because, as I say, it's probably a good point to end it actually as well, because obviously you feel sorry for the kids during this time. And Tony's like me, he's fucking struggling big time. We're all struggling, especially you got more than 2 kids, man. Fuck me. So yeah, Tony Bellew.
Congratulations, Tony. You are the Bellew of the Week. Your own award for episode 368.